What is up? Welcome to the Smalley Talk Podcast, Great Lakes Edition. This is your host, Josh Shrinko. I'm with my brother from another mother, Destin Demarion. What's up, Destin?
What's up, man? What's up, guys? We're gonna have a really good show today. I know
Yeah,
that's a
dude.
fact.
Episode 2 of the Great Lakes Smalley Talk. Been working on a new logo. Haven't really perfected it yet. Got a little bit of feedback from Destin on it. And if I'm being perfectly honest, the logo I sent you, I just put through Chat GPT. So I was just gonna see
Ooh,
what it spit out. So I was like,
what
oh,
did
it
it
actually
say?
doesn't look too bad. But we do have one of the Chegan guys working on the logo. So I was just kind of playing around, seeing if I could give him some concepts and that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, I would say it's still cold and it still sucks like the last time we were recording. So uh I know I haven't been out.
Yes,
You,
yes.
can you get out on Erie right now? Is that like even
You
an
can
option?
ice fish, My buddy, he went out to the West Base, and that's where like all the walleye fishing happens right now. And there's a ton of people out there. Like you can't find a parking spot basically because those ice fishing dudes are absolute lunatics, man. They will
Yeah.
go out even if it's barely safe ice. I mean, those guys are a different breed. I can promise you. But no, me, everything's pretty locked up. I'm just trying to catch up and get ready for everything coming up here the next month or so. Hopefully that it's thawed by then.
Yeah. So does Lake Erie freeze like completely over then? Like you can walk across it sort of
Rarely,
thing?
very
Okay.
rarely. This is the most ice we've probably had in years and years. It got up to about 96% ice coverage, which is insane for us. And then we got some really strong winds this weekend, and it was pushing it and shoving it. Big crack happened right in the middle of the lake from Canada to past Cleveland, and now it's about 91%. And I think we're gonna have a little bit warmer. I say warmer, 30 some degrees weather, coming this week. So we'll see.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's gonna add too much more ice to that. And I'm fingers crossed, selfishly, that it does not.
So when's like your like ice out type of fishing? Is it like mid-March, late March? Is that when you're kind of usually hitting
Yeah,
up the lake?
yeah.
Hmm.
Typically on Erie, like we're one of the. I mean, Prescott Bay, like where I'm at, is usually the first thing to thaw out. The ice on the main lake will get pushed around with the wind. It'll stack up by Buffalo. Yeah, sometimes it'll push, over to the west base, just whichever way that wind's blowing. So, our ice will get off. It's much shallower in Presque Isle, so it does warm quickly. And we usually have ice off of there by, mid March, I'd say, typically at the latest.
Okay. All right. I know ice out can be good too. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of immediate you know. I don't know
I'm sure
what
you've
causes that
experienced
cuz
that.
yeah, I mean, we don't really I know a lot of my rivers I fish around here are locked up. Um I haven't even really there's a couple tailwaters that don't freeze, but I haven't had the time nor the inclination to go do that over the last few weeks. But it's getting about that time though. I was just saying we were at Columbus. We got to hang
Hmm.
out a little bit at the Columbus Fishing Expo, which is cool. Oh, I wanted to mention
Yeah.
also, I specifically told Destin to not wear the sweatshirt, and he showed up with this thing on, so we matched. So
Somebody's going to have to change. I mean, it's not going to be me.
should I just go shirtless on this podcast? Is that what we should do? Just strip it
I
off,
mean,
dude.
one of us has got to change.
uh, but yeah, we had a good time. Sold a bunch of stuff, bunch of munchies. Yeah, so it was a good time. Were you there with a? Do you work with a marina there? Is that where you're
Yeah,
doing?
so boat dealership, Fisherman Central Marine, which is like kind of near Akron. They have two locations, one up in like the West Basin there. I think it's Port Clinton, Sandusky
Mhm.
area. So they have two spots, but the main one's there in Akron, and so it's not too far from Columbus. So yeah, I was there helping support them a little bit.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it was a good show. Like I said, we had a lot of fun at the show, a lot of fun hanging out afterwards, and yeah, we're Chegan's headed to the Classic for the first time here in about a month and a half. So we'll be uh, I wish I had the booth number. I'll announce it the next pod we have, but we got a pretty small booth because this classic is quite salty to be at. But I am bringing my boat down, so I'm going to catch some
Very
smallmouth. This is going to
nice.
be mid-March in Tennessee. There's definitely going to be some pre-spawn action going on, so I'm looking
Yes.
forward to that.
There's a lot of good spots to go catch some smallies and some of those rivers and stuff right around there too. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that do jet boat, waters,
Yep.
around those dams and stuff, and they catch some nice fish.
Yeah, my goal is to just like catch fish, put them in my live well, and then show up at the weigh-in and just like show them.
You're gonna be that guy.
The guys that are winning the classic.
Yeah, you're gonna be that guy.
That main river, they can't get to those skinny spots. So.
That's right.
Well, cool, man. Well, we have. I'm trying to think if we've ever had an international guest. I'm sure we have, but it's the first international guest in a while. We have a couple guys that Destin was like, dude, we got to get these guys on our show. I've known one of them fairly well. He's actually I'm sure he puts this at the top of his resume. He's a Smalley Games bronze master, which is like obviously going to be like the number one accomplishment on any resume, any fishing resume. But we have the Joey Squared. We have on the podcast, so I'm gonna bring him on, add him to the stage. What's up, boys?
Hey guys.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, man. I was excited to have you guys on, just selfishly too. I just haven't got to talk to you face to face for a while.
Well, what was it, Harris Chain last time? I think it was the last we actually saw face to face. You and Tyler down there at the Bassmasters, dude, unbelievable.
Well, you two, together. But I saw you at Buffalo last spring, I believe. You're fishing with your buddy. That was the last time I actually saw you and talked for a little bit. But yeah, I haven't seen you, Joey Tee, since then for sure.
Yeah, I've actually been talking to Tyler. I'm actually planning on coming down to Erie. He's been saying they've been cracking them, so I'm like,
they just caught a 10-pound walleye out there this weekend.
I've been talking to him, so I'm like, I got to get some ice in over there too. So, but yeah, since Florida, I don't think we've actually seen each other. So.
Yeah, we have to stop by through here then and do some perch fishing on your way through.
Hey, I'm down, man. I'm down. Even in the spring, who knows? In the spring, I might come down there and do some perch fishing. I know Joe would want to come. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. The smallies are gold, boys.
Jumbos, man. He doesn't appreciate the jumbos.
Well, you see, the only one that doesn't have the Smalley shirt on. So,
well.
Come on, dude. We got to get you hooked up, dude.
Yeah,
he's got a G Loomer shirt on. I mean, come on, that's not even close to a good small shirt. So. Well, I wanted
here.
For those who do not know you guys, I would like to just take like a really quick intro to let our audience be introduced to you guys. I know you guys have supported us, and I think we hopefully supported you guys, in your endeavors. And so I'm sure a lot of people have seen you guys on the Chegan Instagram page or some of the collabs and stuff. But Joey Tee, if you want to go first, just kind of give yourself a little introduction. Tell us where you're from, how you got into fishing, and how cold it is where you're at, because I'm sure it's freezing balls there right now.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thanks for obviously supporting us, myself and Joey, throughout the years. I mean, it's always great to represent a Smalley brand. I mean, that's what we love to go catch. So definitely have to say thank you to that. But no, my name's Joey Tee. Everyone knows me for Joey Tee here. Actually, Joey Teofilo is my name. I'm from Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. I love smallmouth. I grew up fishing actually in the Kawarthas, believe it or not. I grew up on literally pretty much fishing Rice Lake. With my dad, kind of taught me the ropes, jig head and a grub, and just all he did was said bounce it off the bottom, and sure enough, I would drift with his little aluminum boat, and we would catch a few smallies here and there. So that got me hooked, and then kind of grew on from there, fishing out of a paddle boat, and went to a 16-foot tiller, and who knows, now we're into a 21-foot Ranger, kind of the upgrade, But no, we just love fishing smallmouth, and that's kind of where. Kind of how it all started.
So where are you from then? I know you're in Canada, but Canada is somewhat mysterious to me. I'm not sure where all the provinces are, so you have to explain a little bit.
So we're I'm in Ontario. You know where Kingston is? where like the St. Lawrence, all the tournaments are run out of.
Yeah, yeah.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 3 hours west of there. Just
why don't you just use Toronto?
I could use Toronto.
That might help. Yeah.
Like
I
you're
don't
like
know.
5
Some
minutes from
people don't know
Toronto.
Toronto either, man. I've said Toronto on a couple things, and I don't know if people are like Toronto. Where's Toronto? You know? Because they don't know the area wise. But for fishermen, we know where Kingston, Clayton, all that area is because we fish there. So you can kind of put two and two in a map. But I'm west of there and 1 hour north of there.
Okay, cool. All right, Joey D, give your introduction, my friend.
It feels like one of those OHL introductions, where they got the meeting and everything. But yeah, Joey D. My full name's Joey Dicienzo. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. That is an hour west of probably where about Joe is, about 45 to an hour west of where Joe is. And yeah, I got started young. I remember going to cottages and lakes, like especially with my family when we were going little trips and vacations. I spent the entire week down at the dock, counting how many fish I'd catch, how many bites I got, how many times the bobber went down. And then one specific actual story that I can remember, I caught one that was like, it's like a 4.25 smallie underneath this swim platform. And I actually took a little canoe out there, got up on the platform, and we ended up catching it. And that was like one of the first imprints in my mind of a smallmouth. I'm like, these things are unbelievable. And then it grew. I didn't get a boat until I think it was 18. I had a 15.5 footer. We called her Sill. Actually, my buddy bought it off me. Little 30 Mariner on the back. I know Destin probably saw that thing ripping around Erie a few times, and just kept going to Erie. Got into it more, and then yeah, now we've upgraded to the Ranger too. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Fish a lot of Erie, a lot of Simcoe, and just kind of built. I'm not going to say I have a huge name at all. Like locally, we kind of do our thing, but definitely built the whole mindset and the whole social media page around smallmouth. I mean, it's such a plentiful fish up here, and they get so giant. It's hard not to fish for them.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, how close are you to Joey Tee from like where you live?
Like I'd say probably 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if I take the 407, it's about 45 minutes, which is like our toll road. Yeah, and it kind of splits off. So we've got like the 407 goes here and then the 401 here. If you take the 401, depending on traffic, an hour to 3 hours.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
So I have a question that I don't know personally. How did you guys meet? Like, how did you guys get hooked up? Because, I mean, we're going to talk about it more obviously later, but these guys are a team, and they are a pretty dang good team up in Canada.
We're all right.
We do okay.
Yeah, I think that's shortchanging yourself there.
Yeah,
you guys are hammers.
I appreciate it.
Yo, you want to take this question though? I think you got the good answer because you were the first hand on this one.
Was it like speed dating or something?
Kind of close, actually.
Well, I would say not back in the days, but like back in the day on YouTube, you were able to send like messages to like other followers or whatever, or other people like through the platform. I don't think they do that now. I think they've taken that completely out. I'm not entirely sure, but
the Joey rule is that what happened?
Yeah,
probably.
But basically, no idea. But basically, it was through social media, and like I'd always see his channel. I seen him chasing smallmouth, and like he always used to post about videos about smallmouth, and like I was always on YouTube, and I post YouTube videos too, and it was kind of a thing where. One day I was actually planning on fishing a tournament. I think it was on Canal Lake, right?
Yep.
At Canal Lake for pike, and I didn't have a partner. And I reached out to him, and I was like, "Yo, do you want to fish a tournament together? Totally nonchalant, like just show up, bring some rods, let's send it." And we didn't know each other at this point. I think we've like briefly chatted. Like, I'd say we briefly chatted over the couple weeks.
Dude, I think you messaged me like the Thursday. You're like, my partner bailed and I want to fish a tournament. The exact sentence I remember, and I wish I just screenshotted it because now it's like one of those down in history things, but at least for us. yeah, your name's Joey, my name's Joey. Let's just go fish a tournament, man. Like
Yeah,
that's literally what it was.
That's
That
what
is
it
the
was.
best pickup line I've ever heard.
Yo, crazy. So sure enough, we show up in the morning. We look like two bananas. Like we're like, yo, what's up? I'm Joey. You're like, yo, I'm Joey too. He's like, all right, let's go crack some fish. Right?
Yeah.
Go out there, and he's like, have you ever fished canal? And I'm like, no, I don't know where the hell I'm looking right now, but we'll find something. So we just went out and we're like picking each other's brains. Like, hey, that place looks good. That looks good. And I remember vividly, we roll into this one area, and Joe's got this like chrome little tiny rip and wrap or whatever it was, a lipless crankbait.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're fishing pike here. What are you doing with this crappy bait right now? Right? Hums it out.
I bet you
like,
caught him, didn't he?
Oh,
Did he
dude,
catch him?
buddy was smashing them. I like just opened my eyes completely. I'm like, oh crap, this guy could crack them right now. So we had a fun day. We didn't do good at all. I think we caught fish, but we didn't catch a check. But that kind of stemmed into like opening eyes. Like I saw how he was fishing. I saw how he had his gear all presented. I'm like, you know, this guy knows his stuff. Like he's a good stick, and we kind of bounce off each other really well. So then one thing led to another. I think he invited me down to Erie. I think a couple months later, or even the next year, I think it was, or what was that?
Honestly, yeah, because it was May. I think it was May that pike tournament, right?
So
which is actually,
yeah,
it was a year later because we actually still have that. It's still on my YouTube channel. That whole tournament's still on my YouTube channel. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
And it was funny because like explaining that to my parents at the time, like, yeah, so I'm just gonna go fish a tournament like 2 hours away. They're like, oh, who are you doing it with? I'm like, I don't know, some guy named Joey, man. Like, they're like, you're just gonna drive up and meet some guy? I'm like, I don't know, he's like my age, but like, we'll just send it, whatever.
Come back.
Yeah, and then literally, yeah, right. So then it was it May? It was May, I think. Because he came down to Erie, and then we were like, yeah, we were going through, and I was like, look, like there's a lot of good smallmouth here, or whatever. And we ended up sacking not only smallmouth, but we got a couple incidental bites. We got 2 rainbows that day. We got a Laker, and Destin will know this. I got a Laker 13 feet inside the harbor walls on a dark sleeper.
Was this in the fall?
No, it was in the spring.
Oh, spring, yeah. They're in,
and I couldn't believe
in the spring too.
Yeah,
it's the only one I've ever seen there. But it was the funniest day because I'm like, of all the times for that to happen, like I've never seen it before. It happened with him. So it was like, it started kind of that unique, like every time we go out, something interesting really happens. And that fall was when we cracked my first like official, like high 20 bag on Simcoe. I caught up like 2 6.5s a day. I was out with them, and then just kind of snowballed from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool, man. Yeah, I was always wondering, and that story definitely lives up to my expectations. I will say that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
you guys had no idea who each other. It was like, yeah, you want to go fish? Okay.
Yeah. Just
the rest is history.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, so I mean, cool. I know you guys. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's cool how fishing brings people together like that. I mean, I would, not all my friends, but probably about half of my really good friends, similar type of stuff. We just like, hey, you like to fish? And, it's like the stepbrothers thing. Like, do we just become best friends?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Except you guys, after you say that, you go, hey,
Yeah.
Hey.
He says it way more than me, though. Like, when we're down south, I have to correct. I'm like, dude, like, you're really telling people we're from Canada right now, man. Like really telling people. He's bad.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Hey, for all the adult viewers out there, if you want to play a game, every time I say hey, you know what to do. So
shots, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah. I can guarantee
we would be hammered by the end of this podcast.
That's segment 2. How long can they last without saying a?
I'm gonna start counting now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh man, you're gonna notice it bad.
Yeah.
I was looking where you guys live at. It looks like, because I'm here in Erie, and then I assume when you guys are talking about like Ontario, that's where I see. So you're pretty close to both. So which one do you guys consider your like home water?
Joe, yours is different than mine. Mine's Erie. I'm 45 minutes from Erie. I'm like an hour from Buffalo Harbor, and that's including the border.
No, mine would be Lake Simcoe. Like my home body would be
Okay.
Lake Simcoe. So, have you ever heard of Lake Simcoe?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. That's definitely smallmouth
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I'm like 45 minutes to there, and I'm like an hour and a bit to where Joe likes to go, or hour and 40, I would say, to where like the Erie Crystal Beach is what we have, right? So
Yeah.
Does Simcoe have some sort of not I don't want to say rare, but the smallmouth feed on some kind of like salmonoid there? Is that like bait fish, or am I thinking
Is
of
it
something
Cisco?
else?
Is it
there's
Cisco?
Cisco, there's smelt,
Yeah.
but mostly
Okay.
gobies, gobies and
Gobies taking over everything, man.
yeah,
Mhm.
ever since gobies came in there, it was like a whole
It's
thing. Where
connected, right?
no,
Like it's connected to the Great Lakes.
the whole
Like
everything. All
yeah,
no,
exactly.
yeah,
No, not actually. Like it's far away from the system, but if you're in the Great Lakes chain, like it's not like it's like St. Clair where
Yeah,
St.
like
Clair
there's like
salmon
rivers
between
and
them.
stuff that come
yeah.
way
You got
off.
like the
And
seven
Yeah.
rivers and
it's like
stuff like
Cayuga
that.
Lake and Oneida that are connected
You
to the
got
Yeah,
Falls and
they
stuff.
get
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
They eventually get through it into
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but loaded with gobies, loaded.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's the magic recipe for big smallies for sure.
Seems
Who'd have
like
thought?
I know. I mean, it's almost like someone did that on purpose, I feel like.
Right?
Probably.
Crazy.
How do you guys I think I mentioned this on the last pod, but have you got any of those hatch match ones? Have you used those gobies
I've heard
at
of
all?
them. I've seen them online. Actually, he followed me actually a couple of weeks ago. I've checked out his page. They look pretty realistic.
Yeah, you should holler at him because he makes it's the same stuff we make the munchie. It's silicone, so like compared to like a dark sleeper, they last super long and they're soft. You guys should definitely try it out. I just have a couple of them right here, as I was
He's
saying
got a
that.
lot more
Ooh.
sizes too than like a
Little
dark
toys.
sleeper. He's got a
He has
lot more
a-
variety.
What's
Yeah.
this isn't his biggest one, but he has a pretty.
He's got like a
What's the
massive
smallest?
one. It's like
smallest. What's the
huge.
smallest he's got?
I think he has a 3-inch or 2.75. This
Yeah,
is
like
I think
comparable
this
to the
is
dark sleeper.
this is a 3.5, but yeah, I
Mine
have
was
some of the
like
real
1.5.
small dark sleepers too.
That would make a
You just want to go
1.5.
perch fishing, dude.
You probably
That's all you want to think about.
he'd probably make
Oh,
whatever
Mike,
you want.
get out,
He
man.
does his own molds and stuff, so you guys should definitely check him out. He's a good dude. His name's JP. Yeah, so okay, you guys are up in Canada. You met on YouTube, so you guys obviously I see you fish a lot of derbs. Obviously, or what's like your do you have like a series that you guys are fishing up there that you're dedicated to, or do you just kind of like fish whatever?
So we fish the competitive sport fishing league. It's the CSFL up here. He's Andy Pilata family runs it. They've been around for I want to say close to 30 years. Oh, it is 30 years actually this year because the 30th classic is on the first classic lake that they added. It's like their homecoming kind of deal. So we fish that circuit. There's a couple other circuits around here. Bait Fuel Tour, which is run by the Bait Fuel guys, right? And JP's JP, JP DeRose. He runs a lot of the unseeing there. But we fish a lot of CSFL, so we do pretty much. They've got like 4 circuits plus an MLF Cup one. So the MLF Cup one's like the 2-day tournaments, which we obviously prefer to do those ones, and then a bunch of the open tournaments around Ontario, right? Like not Bass Opens, let's call it, but more like Kenora Bass International or the KBI, which Jamie Bruce, Gussie, all those guys from up there, they all fish that stuff, right? So we've done that one, do a lot of the Simcoe Open ones, and a bunch of just jumping in the Erie Derbs. I mean, we got a local club right near me that holds fall derbs all the time, Port Colborne. So we jump in a little bit of everything, whenever we can fill our schedule up, we just get out fishing. So
Yeah. So speaking of tournaments, I don't know if we're gonna get to it yet, but they have a little bit of history they made last year. It was on one of those tournaments at St. Lawrence on Lake Ontario. Was it out of Kingston?
Gananoque.
Gananoque. Okay, so a little bit down there. Yeah. So it was, which one was it? It was the Canadian. It was like
It was
it was a 2-day.
It was it was a Gananoque Cup, CSFL again, 2-day derb. That was absolutely incredible. The one thing that a lot of people don't know about that was that it was a river only tournament. And I know we
I
specified
did
it in
know
the post
that, which
we
is
made.
insane. Yes.
Yeah, so we did a river only tournament. The first day we had 2986, and I dropped a giant. Everybody says, "Oh, I dropped a giant," but literally beside the
We
boat,
dropped
bottom
a
6.5 pounder.
pounder.
Yo, get out of here! It
Oh
was
my
6.5,
God.
but
Nah, man, it was pushing 8. I'm telling you.
get out of here!
It
No
was a
way.
big one, dude.
It's grown ever since I lost it. Anyways, we show up. We're like, you know what? We're gonna go first day. We think we have a good bag. You know, like 2986, great bag, but the bag rate below us, there was like a 28 bag. The bag rate behind us was 2912. So
Yeah.
we're like, you know, we got some work to do tomorrow. We're not in the clear, right? Rolled out and just literal magic. If for those of you listening, 3202 is what we weighed on the second day, which put us over a 30-pound average for both days. It was 3094, I believe, is the actual number. 6188 for 2 days on the river only, which for
And
us,
mind
we
you,
were mind blown.
This is summertime, right? This is a summertime tournament.
September.
Yeah, end of
Yeah. So
September.
like,
Yeah,
oh, the end of September. Okay.
It was
yeah, it was
middle.
September 19th, 20th, or 2021. It was, anyways, third week of September. So,
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
pretty crazy good.
yeah. So a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. It was crazy. Like the class went from fours, and you've seen it out there, Dustin, where the fish can roll in and out all the time
Yeah.
in pods. I'm sure this happens in the river for you guys too, Josh, where different fish, like different smallies, will use different pods at certain times of day or runs. It was like 4 pound, 5 pound, 6 pound class. So it just like, it moved in. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Sounds
That's
pretty
unreal.
fun.
Yeah.
Especially
Your
in a
wheels are
tournament.
turning, Josh.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my wheels have always been turned. I mean, I'm just like so far away from, like, I gotta, have kids and businesses and stuff, but I definitely it will not be long before I fish with you guys. So
Yeah, you got
yeah,
to make it up here.
You got
yeah,
it.
different style than what I'm doing. But I mean, I know, like, the thing about St. Lawrence, it is, I mean, it's a river, and I'm a river guy. It's just like a deeper, wider river than what I'm used to. So I
Yep.
just think it'd be cool to go up there and see what it's all about. So we'll take it one step at a time.
Magic.
But yeah. So being that you guys fish a variety of waters up there, like, give me like just a breakdown of, like, Ontario versus Erie versus, I know Thousand Islands and St. Lawrence are kind of part of Ontario, but give me like the breakdown up there, what you guys like to fish, like how it fishes. Just gives, like, paint the landscape for us.
I mean, I'll start it off here. I mean, one thing about me and Joe is, like, we're not far from each other in terms of, like, where we fish and where we like to fish, but, like, how we fish is different because he's an Erie guy and I'm like a Simcoe guy as our home body. So, and Joe could probably jump in on this after, but, like, for example, when I went to Erie with him, I was kind of blown away on how we're catching these fish, how he's doing it, and, like, it's just a whole different deep water game where I'm, like, usually not ever deep until the Simcoe Fall that I've done out there. But it's still, even the Simcoe Fall is not like Erie Fall or Erie in general. It's a totally different fishery. I would say like 90% of my year, I'm like 6 feet or less in terms of fishing, right? I'm looking shallow. I tend to look for, like, shallow, long flats. I'm looking at stuff that, like, other anglers generally don't go look at right away when they're talking shallow game, right? But when it's deeper water, I don't look at the stuff he's looking at because he's he's used to something that I'm not used to, right? So when we kind of put both our minds together, when we go out to pre-fish, usually we have two boats. So, like, I'll go do my thing and he'll go do his thing. And our game plans are completely different, but we'll always, like, reiterate what we're kind of looking at, what we're finding, and then seeing what works and what doesn't work. But I would say generally Simcoe is a shallower fishery. So I'm always just shallow fishing. I prefer to be shallow, just naturally.
Do you do a lot of sight fishing then? Is that
Mostly, but I mean,
into it?
like, a lot of, like, I mean, this is probably gonna spark up some talk because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, live scope's gonna be brought into this," right? But I mean, it's always a
Just open
thing.
the cannon, eh?
It's just
you
I
have
had the
to.
can, right? But I mean, no, like, even shallow, you're sight fishing up until, like, you obviously see them or you can see them. But the problem with that now is a lot of these fish are super spooked. So if you get really close to them with the boat, they do tend to spook off. They won't bite. And you have to use like a technology in a lot of these areas to, like, see them or kind of get an idea of a painted picture what's under you, and then you can kind of get an idea what they're doing, whether you want to pull off, turn the scope away, and then try to fish that area. But a lot of it all comes into play. A lot of it's definitely live scoping for sure, but using both the technology and obviously knowledge. You need knowledge first to find the spots. It's given. So, I mean, you can't just put the scope down and go be like, hey, they're here. No, I mean, you got to know where to look on these contours and where the navionics and the contours will bring you, right? So I would say, yeah, most of it is sight, but most of it's also technology too. It's about 50-50.
Have you been able to adapt that at all on Lake Erie? Because I know you said, Joey Tee fishes a little bit different, which I think there is a pretty decent shallow bite on Erie, especially like on you guys' side, on the Ontario side. And we get a decent bit of it too where I'm at, but it's much more dependent on like turnovers and, water temperature, cold water getting pushed in and stuff. But I mean, have you guys been able to do that there as well?
I mean,
go ahead, take it. I'll start after.
I'll just be quick because like I don't fish Erie a lot. Like the thing about me too is like you gotta understand, like Joe knows this, and this is my mindset, is we never get tournaments up here on Erie. Okay, that really like are part of our circuit. So for me to go to Erie, it's just not in my repertoire, where I'd rather be learning Simcoe, where it can give us an opportunity to go fish red crest, right? Like I'm gonna put myself on a lot of different waters that are on our circuit, right? Versus where Joe's going to be obviously towards Erie. He lives right there. If he has time, he's going to fish Erie. It's a different kind of like mindset where we're, him, it's 2 hours to Simcoe. It's hard, right? Like it's 2.5 hours to drive to Simcoe versus me, I'm 40 minutes. You know what I mean? So I'm going to probably choose a lot of the bodies around Simcoe and whatever's on our circuit to try to do that. So I don't really go to Erie to try that shallow bite or do any of that, to be honest with you. I don't think I go to Erie unless I'm with Joe, to be honest with you, for fun.
Literally, and that's what I was just about to say, is like anytime he comes there, it's not like we can't go and try spots that he's picked out on the map or whatever, but like Destin, you know the way it is. Like he's gonna hop in my boat. I mean, I fish the eastern side all the time. So he's like, let's go look at this. And I'm like, oh dude, I have like 7 waypoints there. Like, let's go just run it, right? Like a lot of that is already broken down. And that was the funny thing. Like he hit the nail bang on the head. When we fish different, like we fish completely different. I remember we were chatting about Simcoe, and that was like the first. And people don't actually believe this every time I tell them, and I try and make it very clear on. They're like, oh, Simcoe seems easy. You guys make it look easy. I've heard that before. I'm like, well, it's not. Like, it's actually one of the hardest fisheries I've been on. With that being St. Lawrence too, incredibly hard. The first 10 times I went to Simcoe, I blanked 9 times.
I've heard it's like that. Yeah.
And like he said, 2 hours, 2.5 hour drive. I especially got to go through Toronto. I wasn't taking the 407 at the time. So it's like, it could be three and change to get there. I blanked 9 times, like not catch a fish, not even a 12-incher. Like we're talking blanked. So the big thing for me was trying to figure that out, because I was always fishing super, super deep structure, right? Learned out very quick that is not the way you got to go about it. So that was quite the learning curve there. And similarly, when he came down to my area, like our area, I'm fishing, in the summer, sometimes I'll fish as upwards of 60, 65 feet structure, right? And he's just like, dude, like he fishes suspended lakes, in that 50 to 80 foot range, but structure in 50, 60 feet was a little bit new, especially, the springtime. You're anywhere from 25 to 45, and we don't leave anything from there. So it was definitely cool to kind of share that realm and get that kind of versatility working into our repertoire, because then that's what kind of made us like a little bit more lethal when we went over to like Thousand Islands, because it was like, oh, well, I'll just go check out all the deep stuff. You check out all the small stuff,
right?
The shallow stuff. Anything in between, we can kind of figure it out from there.
That's a good point, because like I've seen it with teams, and I've fished with a lot of different people. Like you have to have the right mix, with how you practice, especially if you're practicing with your own boats and stuff, and how your styles really mesh. And I mean, obviously it's worked for you guys because you've had success like as a team, but sometimes there's just, if you're too similar in your technique, sometimes you just miss stuff because you guys are different, but you guys like integrate both of those strategies together. You're able to like make that work really well because you're checking all the domains together, and you're good at this, you're good at this, you put that together, it really makes a difference. I've seen that. And just personalities meshing, with team tournaments. I'm sure you guys have fished with other people before, and sometimes it doesn't work. Even if you're good fishermen or really good fishermen, if your styles don't mesh and your personalities don't mesh, it just doesn't work.
Yep. No, I feel like there's with us, there's always that, like, you know, there's never one's better than the other. I think that the way we think is one day, like, we can both benefit. We know there's benefits to each other all the time, no matter what tournament it is or what body of water. So I feel like no matter what, we always like come back to that loop where it's like, all right, like we know that we need each other in that sense. Cause like you go out without me or I go out without you, it's kind of like, yeah, you'll probably catch fish, but you put it together, it becomes a dominant state of like, you know, you got two minds that fish the same way out there. Once you guys are able to fish the same way and capitalize the same way, you're just a really dominant force. And I feel like we both know that and kind of value that. So I think it's definitely a thing where, you know, once you value something, it's hard. You don't want to mess it up. So
no,
yeah,
definitely not. Yeah. You don't want to, because once you find like a partnership like that, you definitely don't want to like change it, because if it works, it's hard to find that for sure.
It's hard. Yeah, it is hard.
It is. Well, let's go back to like St. Lawrence and like Thousand Islands. So you guys obviously are very good there. You've caught some really big bags. Let's go more into like what you're looking for, you know, some techniques. I know you guys just came out with a new bait. I think that was a factor, you know, in the tournaments for you guys. So can you kind of go through like the mindset you guys have when you do go like to a place like that?
Yeah. You want to take this? You want me? Okay, I'll take it. I'll start. So especially like, it's weird. People think we have a lot of time out there. We really don't. I think Joe can also kind of chime in on this. I think we've got maybe 20 days out there total. And I would say probably a quarter of that is in the actual lake, because the tournament's always held in the river. The only one we've actually really done, we've done 2 or 3 days out there just messing around. One of them was actually for a different tournament where we were like, you know what? We had to fish a largemouth tournament. We're like, I can't even do this anymore. I'm going to run out and go for smallmouth. So we ran like an hour out to go for smallmouth and ran back just to get our fix in. But yeah, we only have like 20 to 25 days, maybe max, and majority of that's on the river. So this year's CISA, they had that big CISA event, which Johnson's ended up winning. That was kind of our like real week that we had to put a lot of time out there. For me, when I was looking for stuff, man, and I'm going to be completely honest, I instantly know, like, out there when we fish the river stuff, like a lot of our stuff is mixed depth, so we can be very versatile from the shallows to the deeps. But being that time of year, it was like Labor Day weekend, so like end of August, early September, you kind of know it's that transition period. Fish are getting ready to go move out for the fall or move in for the fall, depending on which part of the lake they're on. I just wanted to look for deep fish because I knew that week there was a lot of wind coming, a lot of wind, and it was a southwest wind, which is the dominant wind for what we're used to up here, at least. And I know your bad area is the east. If you get an east, it's bad for you guys out there, right, Destin?
Yeah.
On Erie, yeah.
Really
so for ours, for most of us, it's all southwest. So any southwest, we had to plan for, okay, we got to be hiding here. We got to find areas like this. So I just went and tried to find stable fish. And generally for me, and Joe can maybe say the same thing, or maybe you guys have experience with it too, but I generally find the deeper fish are a little more stable over like extreme weather events. So
for sure.
Looking at the long-term forecast from that 6 or 7 days, knowing what the tournament was going to be like, I was trying to plan for emergencies where, okay, we've got deep fish and they're good enough to scrape by with 20 to 24 pounds. Like, that's kind of what I was looking. First day I happened to stumble on actually a spot that we capitalized on for majority of the tournament. It was just this shoal kind of sticking off from one of the islands, and had a deeper ledge to it, but nothing really like super crazy. It was just more of like a shoal that I'm used to fishing. So I just rolled up on it, dropped the scope down, and had a look. And I mean, it was beat up from the many tournaments that were out there in terms of like the actual Thousand Islands event. So I had to kind of get really tricky with the minnow baits and stuff like that to try and get them to go. And, it ended up being a drop shot and a minnow bite for most of my pre-fish, which was pretty good. And it was just, again, deep shoal rocks, little isolated structures, groups of fish. I think we weighed, I don't know, between 23 and 24 there every day. And we made all 3 days. So that was pretty good. And that's pretty much what I focused on. I looked at a lot of that stuff throughout pre-fish, just deeper shoals, ledges, fingers, points. And then I did dabble shallow, but a lot of the time I think I made the mistake of going when it was too cloudy, too windy, and the pressure systems were just off. The fish just weren't shallow in the areas that I looked. So
Mhm.
I was like, you know what, Joe? We're punching these into your graph, and this is what we're sending. Like, I've got all deep stuff, and we're gonna go like 2-3 deep areas and hope that they stay over the extreme events. So
Yeah, no, that was, yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head there. I mean, I went shallow. I said I'll let Joe deal with the deep, and I went shallow, and I looked shallow. I went to obviously some areas that I know, went to new areas, fished a lot of new areas, just literally went shallow. I didn't go deeper, I don't think, than 10 feet. But I was looking way up. I found some big fish in practice up in the shallows, but the problem was we'd have mixed days of sun and cloud, and I feel like that's going to affect a lot of things. Sun is a huge thing up here, and we just didn't get it. So the shallow bite was definitely a difficult bite to get on, and with all the pressure systems coming in, I think we had rain too one day. Like, it was just
Not
the
ideal.
shallow bite it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So all of my fish, we ended up plucking a couple big ones off on our shallow zones, but the main focus was, like, Joe's telling me he's on 24, that 23, 24 out deep. I'm trusting him and what he's saying, and I'm like, all right, that'll probably get us in the top final day. I'm going to just look for maybe 1 or 2 bites up shallow. If there's a big one on a rock, or if there's a couple big ones on a little ledge that's shallow or a flat, we can run that, and then see if we can call one fish or something like that, right? That's in our repertoire of running. So, and we did. I think we caught 1 6.5 shallow on day 1, which helped our bag. And then day 2 and day 3, we still pulled at least a good 5.5 to 5 3/4 off shallow. That definitely helped the call. So goes to show you there is big ones shallow. It's what our record was, broken on. So it's kind of like, you got to keep in your back pocket too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, just about the conditions, like the cloudiness. I've seen the same thing. Like, it just messes up that shallow bite always, and that's typically when that deep bite does shine, because they're just not as affected, by those changes and stuff in the weather. They love the sun up there, man. They absolutely love it. They get so aggressive. They get moving. They're just such visual feeders, as you guys know, and that place is like a paradise for that. I mean, that is an absolute paradise.
Super crisp water, right? So I feel like that sun just brings them right up, but it wasn't there. So it was a tough pill to swallow, because I know the damage we could probably do, and Joe probably know that too, but it just was not in our favor up until the last hour of day 3.
Yeah, literally.
That's a lot of work for 1 hour's worth of shallow bites.
Yeah,
right.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's all conditions on these lakes and how to read them, and then just coming up with a plan and executing it. So
I mean, was that, I did say you guys had the new bait. I didn't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but was that a factor for you guys in the tournament? The GBO, correct?
Yeah, the GBO, great bag on. That's right here. I actually got a new color to show you guys too. I got it's gonna be coming out here hopefully shortly. Pretty cool. But yeah, it was key for us for a lot. Like, some of the shallow fish, again, it's very dependent on sun, cloud, whatever, switching colors. But we did catch a bunch on it drop shotting, especially on the third day. Third day, the condition kind of lined up, and we were like, oh, they're actually blasting a drop shot now. We can actually sit and kind of go through an area, put the scope down, kind of look at that. Those isolated structures. Again, like, I know you're saying, what do we look for? It's like, most of the stuff I'm looking out there, just a little bit different rock than what everything else has. Yeah. Maybe it's a limestone vein, maybe it's an edge, maybe it's like 2 or 3 bigger boulders amongst, basketball sized boulders or whatever. Like, just something that holds a little different. And we were able to kind of pitch that around. But for those of you that haven't seen it, that's the GBO right there. This is a used one, so it kind of looks a little beat up. And I know my camera just went a little weird, but
Josh, you need to throw that one in the river.
Oh, you'll crack them on the river.
I'm serious.
I got some stuff similar to that this year. So yeah.
Have you gotten to the dice baits at all, Josh?
No, you know what I'm trying to think of those things are called. Kamushis.
Emo kamushis.
Yeah, I got some. I tried some of the floating ones last year, and I caught some fish on them, and then I got some sinking ones this year. So I've heard good things. It's up my alley for sure.
Is you guys a floating version, or do you have like different versions of the bait? Do you have like a non-salt and a salt version? Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
So we wanted the bait, and it was cool like developing it too. That was one thing for us. Like we'd never been involved in actual like lure making before. So when X-Zone, we were sponsored by them last year, and they approached us, and we started kind of going through the works, and we're like, you know what, like we've got a bait we kind of want to like improve, right? Everybody's looking for improvements, and we had a system that we kind of liked, and like how do we improve that system, right? So the big thing for us was just having that, between the salt and the non-salt, having different weights that kind of, slower fall rate, faster fall rate, that fun stuff. And then aerodynamic and hydrodynamic, man. I know that sounds, it sounds very complicated, but just thinking plain and simple, I need to cast that bait further, especially if you're Nico rigging it. I need to get that bait further. These fish are spooking all the time. So, I mean, setup has a lot to do with it, but being able to adjust the bait and kind of make it that pyramid shape. I mean, if you rig it properly and you're rigging it with the hook through here and coming out here, like, I mean, that's going to fly through the air like a bullet, right? And that's kind of what we wanted it to be, very aerodynamic. And then the rigging too, right? When you're falling, if you rig it with this side down, it's going to fall a lot slower than if you rig it with this side down. I mean, it's just simple geometry. And that was kind of something that we needed to do. We just needed to figure out how to make that better and how it fit our system. And lucky enough, like X-Zone really listened to our input, and that's the concept right there. 13 mils of GBO grabbing GBO hunting sauce right there.
Oh yes, the GBO. I never knew what that actually meant. I just saw like you guys talking like GBO. I was like, now I know what a GBO is. Yes,
People think it's a great big one or great brown ones, but no, it's great.
I like great brown ones. Yes.
Yeah, we had giant
awesome.
brown ones this year too. Giant brown ones. We're like, that's actually not bad too. But
Yeah.
So how do you guys rig that? What's like I'm sure it's not just one way, but what's your
Great minds think alike.
typical, yeah, what's your typical setup with that?
You want to take this or you want me?
I mean, I'll tell you, I even have one rigged up right here on my ice rod, but I mean, like, the staple is drop shot. I mean, you drop shot it, like Joe said, you go through the thick side of it, like the flat side, and then you come out through that skinny side, and you can really snub that up to like the eye of the hook. You drop shot that, especially if you run a low drop shot, you can have it close to the ground as well, kind of something skirting on the bottom. And then you can Nico weight it. I mean, you can shove like a nail weight inside of it, and then just a simple hook right through it, and you can fling that out as well. And I mean, both ways work effectively, and that's kind of like the two ways we do run it. I know Joe likes to run it a couple different ways, but those are the two ways I kind of play with for the most part.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I know a lot of guys do. They'll free rig or Carolina rig it too. Yeah. Scenarios call for it. We'll mix it in from time to time, but again, like, yeah, just the main two. I mean, just figure out what they want and go from there.
I feel like you guys rig it in ways you're not going to talk about.
I was feeling that vibe.
I feel the look on your face. I'm like, these guys are holding back big time.
No, man, come on.
I know that look. I've had that look as well.
It's all good. No, for me, when I've used those emo kamushis, I actually throw them weightless. But I'm fishing obviously different types of waters than you, but the sinking ones sink decently fast with the hook in them. Yeah. And I've also fished them like bugs where they'll come up and sip them on top, but you guys probably don't get a ton of the bug eaters. And
throw the emo kamushi like a jerk bait with like a whatever you call it, EWG hook or something in there.
Yeah.
Jerk bait it.
Yeah. It's that like kind of dice style stuff is it like doesn't really resemble anything, which is probably what the smallmouth are probably like, what the hell is that? I'm gonna go eat it. Whereas like it's different from your traditional thought where you're like trying to make stuff look the most natural you can make it. That's like the complete opposite, which is totally a Japanese thing. Like that's just those guys come up like with the craziest stuff, and then they're like, let's just see if fish will eat it. So yeah, that's cool, man. I'll have to grab some of those and try that out because I have some ideas that just looking at it. So
You could rig
Yeah.
it like however you want to, man. Like honestly, you could put a weighted ball on it. I was throwing it for perch too in the spring. Like I was throwing it on a drop shot, like almost like a free rig, just like basically close to bottom, and I was just dragging it, and they were cracking it too. Like just you could rig it however you want, and if you just get confidence in that bite, then that's all that really matters, right? I mean, I feel like it's more of a confidence deal. We can tell everyone exactly how we're rigging it and exactly how we're fishing it. I mean, I YouTube videos of exactly how I catch whitefish on Lake Simcoe and the ice fishing, and people still don't catch them, right? No matter what we tell everyone.
oh yeah,
I feel like it's having the confidence in the
thing.
bite. You're however you want it, it'll work for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do any of the type of fishing I do? Do you ever go like in like small rivers? Is there any of that type of fishing around you guys?
Like, what do you mean small rivers, like little creeks and stuff like that?
No,
I mean,
like
the stuff.
Go ahead.
I'm fishing like, you know, like the style you guys just say, if I come fish with you guys should definitely come. We should like meet in the middle somewhere and go fish some like the Susquehanna. You guys would absolutely love that. It's kind of like largemouth fishing, really, only it's smallmouth because it's like, you know, anywhere from, I don't know, at the deepest 7-8 feet to like 6 inches of water. I mean, I've caught smallmouth with like their backs out of the water like multiple times. And they're, you know, it's like it's buzz bait type of stuff, you know, like flukes, like that visual eats. That's like all what I am doing. And what I was thinking of is like a lot of times what we do is when the river like comes up or pre-spawn, there's not a lot of visibility. You can power fish it like chatterbait, you know, spinnerbait, that sort of thing. But then in the summertime, it gets real low and real clear. And it's like almost like those baits, like that dye style bait, that ends up being like kind of like what you guys do, except in a reverse way. It's like it's not real deep and clear. It's just super shallow and clear. And those fish get super spooky. Like if they see any shadow or hear any noise, you see them leave. And those little, like I fished that gizmo a lot. I don't know if you guys ever used that evergreen gizmo.
Evergreen gizmo, yeah.
Little topwater bait.
That was the first time where I was like, oh, if you use something really small, like almost like you're fly fishing, like those fish will like come and eat it. But I feel like you guys encounter that, like that's like kind of your default. Like you're fishing that like really clear, like highly pressured fish. So you kind of have to resort to just some like really like finessey type stuff. And that's the way you traditionally think of smallmouth fishing. But the stuff that I do, a lot of times I can use a 7.2 medium heavy rod with the half-ounce chatterbait, and I'm, you know, that's like a go-to with the type of fishing I do. So just same fish, completely different, you know, environments. It's crazy. So
Would be cool.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of that here. I've got a river like, I don't know, 10 minutes from my house that kind of sets up like yours. The smallmouth are decent size too, because it actually does run into Erie, but I can't say the numbers are as good as what you guys have there. I've seen some of the stuff you do, Josh, especially when you won the kayak tournament out there, dude. I was like, holy mackerel. I just saw your jet boating video the other day. Dude.
Yeah, see me about rip a hole in the bottom of
crazy. Dude, I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Yeah, we don't have that, like we don't run that stuff up here. Your style of fishing is absolutely crazy. Like, mad respect for you for having the balls to do that. Like, no joke.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's different. It's completely different. But that's why I want to get up and fish with you guys, because I've done, you know, enough lake fishing to know, one, you know, not that good at it. And I just, you know, we don't have smallmouth lakes where I'm at. So I end up, you know, doing the river thing. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's and we also don't have 7 and 8 pound smallmouth. That's the difference. You know, you guys have the world class, like, you know, size. So yeah, I can't wait to go see what that's all about. So I'm coming up with Destin this spring. So he promised me a 7. So
you better hurry up. I don't have like any days left now.
Yeah, you gotta go with them.
Yeah, I
fun,
need
man.
to, man. I need to get some days for sure. So
We can still throw the 7.2 with a chatterbait, man, and hammer on some 20-pound test. They'll still eat that thing too, man.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, they will.
all
Yeah,
right.
you got
All
no,
right.
Erie isn't just all finesse all the time.
Well,
man.
talk to me about that. Talk to me about like power fishing in the Great Lakes, because that's not what I think of when I think of that. When I think of Erie, I'm thinking of jighead minnow, goby stuff. Kind of what like Joey was talking about. It's like, oh, I'm fishing in 30, 40 foot of water, which I know Erie's shallower than a lot of the other Great Lakes. But talk to me a little bit about that kind of stuff, because that's interesting to me. So
I mean, one of our, I would say, not claim to fame, our very first tournament that we won together on Thousand Islands was again the CSFL Gainey Cup. There we went. We threw a spinnerbait for a day and a half.
Hell yeah!
And
river
it was the craziest thing, and everybody now that we go there, especially a bunch of our buddies, they all have 3 or 4 spinnerbaits tied on, and I don't think anybody really believes us when we say it, but it was the funniest thing. So think of the most hair jig spy bait conditions that you can think of. What are they?
Flat, calm, and sunny, man.
Flat, calm, and sunny. Buddy, not a breath of wind. And we're casting at these fish, and nothing's going. And I'm like, what is going on? Dude, we were just here yesterday. We had no hooks. Every single fish we threw the drop shot at, ate. Every single one. Right away. Like, oh, this is going to be gross tomorrow. We're going to make a mess. Dude, we show up. 14 fish we pitch at, 1 8. I'm like, this is not good. Slicks out. I'm like, you know what? What would KVD do? And I look in my box. I'm like, he'd throw a spinnerbait. That's exactly what he'd do. Dude, I grabbed it first cast. Thing gets ripped out of my hand. I set the hook, comes up. Spinnerbait goes like this in half. 5.5 pounder, breaks it in half. I'm like, yo. Joe looks at me and goes, that was a giant. I'm like, I think I got one more spinnerbait. I had like 4 or 5 carcasses by the end of the day of spinnerbait. Like third cast, set the hook. I'm like, oh, jumps, another 5.5 pounder. I'm like, Joe, I think I'm onto something here. He goes, I'll just keep throwing that. For the next 40 minutes, we managed to put in, it was 26 pounds into the box. I'm like, this is gross. Again, spy bait conditions. Never thought I'd be throwing a spinnerbait like that quick over top of their head. Day 2, right in the morning, cloudy, wind, rain, put 21 in the boat. And then we were kind of running around with our chicken with our heads cut off. And last spot we rolled up onto, which we thought we hit the day before, but actually hit the wrong area of it. Rolled up, dropped the scope and went, oh, those are big ones. Pitch out, I catch a 5.5. I'm in the box. I go like this to Joe. I'm like, dude, check out this call. And I throw a 2-pounder out. And he goes, dude, get the net. Jump 6-pounder. We went from 22 to 26.5 and ended up winning tournament last one.
Oh my gosh.
It was gross. So power fishing there, people overlook it. We still have chatterbaits, we still have spinnerbaits thrown on. I mean, like, there are times where you can't get them to eat finesse, or they're just not going as well on finesse as they are power. So like we always have that stuff on our deck.
You got to take them off,
Yeah.
So when you're fishing that stuff, like, are you like, what's like the depth that you guys are fishing just like on average?
That tournament was 8 and less. Like, 8 and less, give or take. If you want to really say it, like, I would say 8 and less, 8 feet.
So, and that was on Erie, you said?
No, that was on the same.
Thousand Islands.
Yeah. 1,000.
Oh, okay. So, is there a lot of grass there? Is that
mix? It's
a mix. Depends on where you go. There's like slack water with a lot of weed and a lot of grass there, and then there's like areas where it'll be bald for miles. Yeah, I mean, this year he was throwing a spinnerbait over 11 feet of water.
Yeah,
and they were just coming up and charging it. So like, there's definitely times where they're just like, it's weird. Erie, Decimal Norm at like Roses Reef, Waverly area, that kind of area.
Yeah, on the North Shore.
Yeah, it's like 12 and less. So like that's where I'll power fish a lot of stuff too. And I'll actually, funny enough, going back to the dark sleeper, I'll power fish a dark sleeper. Like just get it real quick along the bottom, put a super heavy weight, and just ram that thing into the bottom, and they blast it. So there's a whole bunch of really like interesting power fishing opportunities up here, and you just got to kind of have it mixed in all the time because sometimes it's deadly.
Yeah, they'll go so far for a bait too. Like, I mean, Josh, because even been here, like Thousand Islands, some of the places you can see down 20 feet. You know, like they can see your bait from a long ways away, and if they're pretty aggressive, they're going to come from them, forever away to come get it too. Erie's not quite as clear, but it can be close. You know, it can be close to that at times, like in the spring and stuff. But yeah, they will come down and absolutely stomp a bait when the conditions are right. I mean, it's such a fun way to catch them.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are getting me excited. This weather sucks, dude. I need to freaking
It's
go
brutal.
fishing. I was talking to my wife. I'm like, there's nothing I can explain to her that like parallels the type of feeling I have. I'm like, she's like, well, you got to go to, the fishing show and talk about it. I'm like, babe, that's not even like, that's just like barely scratching the itch. I'm literally in seasonal depression right now. Like I hate this.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
At least you're out ice fishing though. At least you got something.
Yeah. I feel like ice fishing suppresses a little bit though. Like for me, my seasonal depression's like when the season starts getting melty over here, which is like middle of March to like end of April, I'm like, oh dude, I'm scratching my head and I'm freaking out.
Hey, that's when you guys need to come down. That is literally like prime time where I'm at. So
really,
you guys, that like if I could pick one week of the year where I could fish, it would be second week of April. That's like my number one time to go fish. So
I know you and Ryan post giants at that time of year.
Yeah, that's when I really like being out. I like being out all the time. That fall's quickly becoming almost as good as pre-spawn, but yeah. I mean, they spawn here like first week of May. That's like where last week of April, first week of May is when we get the spawn. So yeah, you guys are probably pushed back quite a bit. I've heard of spawners in the Great Lakes in like July.
One year on Erie, I found 5 spawners on our side, middle of August, and it was the weirdest thing, dude. Again like 12 feet of water. I'm like going over. There's no way that's a bed. I see him like kind of just chilling. Like, there's no way that's a bed. I pitch on it, and he just goes over and eats it. I'm like, dude, what? And I went another 30 feet. I'm like, there's another bed. Like that's a clear bed now. And I pitch in again, 4-pounder. I'm like, okay, I guess there's beds now. And I ended up finding 5 in this little area. I was like, I have never seen that. They do some weird stuff sometimes. That's why we love them.
It is, yeah. They start spawning here pretty quick. So, like, Josh, your timeline's not too far off ours. Like, Presque Isle, because it warms so quick. I mean, they're starting early May because it's only like 20 feet deep. They keep the channel dredged, so that water just warms up super quick. All those fish that push in there start spawning. Some of them, the meat of the spawn is later, Memorial Day through July. But they do start spawning around then too.
Well, I'm going to get on the calendar with you as soon as we get off this because I've been trying to wait on Chris. He's got a trial, I think, around in April, and I've been waiting on his slow ass. So I'm gonna commit, and if he can come, great. If not, I'll either go by myself or find somebody else to go. So
there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you end up in our area, I'll go ripping by you.
Hey, like I said, I would like to go. I want to go experience all that stuff with you guys. Not even, pre-spawn, I'm sure is really fun, but like even the middle of summer when you guys are doing that, like real deep, finessey stuff. Like I want to go experience that just because I don't really have anywhere here that's a thing for smallmouth. You can do it for largemouth, but I hate largemouth, so we're not gonna do that.
But you have a largies hat at your booth. I saw it, dude.
I did. Yeah,
Don't even pretend.
Yeah, we did a collab with the Big Bass Dreams guys. So that's kind of an April Fool's joke, but we still
that's good. Oh, I'm sure. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. We need. Someone needs to make a bet with me, and I have to wear that a whole season. So. Wear the largest hat.
I think you need some perch merch for me and Joey Tee is what you need to do next.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
jumbo perch.
So you guys, when's your like official like season? When's your first tournament? What do you guys know what your first tournament is you're going to be fishing?
Yeah, together it's going to be early July. Yeah, early July. I think I have them all written down somewhere, but it's early July is our first official one together. We'll probably pop out for an early season Erie one, which I'm sure Destin and probably Andy will jump out for that one too.
Are you going to come over to the U.S. side to fish like those fish tournaments? Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. I missed a bunch of them last year because we were kind of like we were handcuffed with the weather a lot of the time, and then the one weekend that it actually ran, we were in Thousand Islands, so that was sick. It was like the first weekend in May, right before it closed over there, because we had the next weekend was the closer. But yeah, we like to do that kind of stuff. I usually fish that with either Patty or my brother because he's too busy, and he's beside me on the box, but he likes to perch fish too much and doesn't like to come down and fish them with me. So I stick with them. So our first official one is July.
Listen, I like exploring other species before the bass season starts, because once the bass start, I'm like locked in on that. But I like to enjoy my perch and crappie and like my walleye before, and then I get my fix in and I'm done.
Yeah, it's a good little teaser before bass season for sure.
Yeah, especially you catch them on bass gear. Like I'm throwing like bait casters at these jumbos and cracking them on 4-inch swim baits. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just something about it. It's fun. It's fun.
I was catching them on traps last year. I was catching like jumbos on traps last year. It was so cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
dude, that was
interesting.
7'4" medium heavy with like 15-pound fluorocarbon with like a 1/2-ounce ball head with a 4-inch swim bait. Just cracking. And dude, they actually pull back. It's crazy. They're
pretty strong,
man. I started with that, and then I went to like the new BFS that like Shimano has. I started using like the new Corrado like BFS. I don't know if you've ever dabbled with any of the BFS stuff yet, but
very little.
Dude, you lean into it. Oh, buddy, lean into a jumbo with one of those on 6-pound fluoro.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
Man. It's so fun.
It sounds great, guys. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, you and Josh are like, I don't care whatsoever.
Like, dude,
I mean, at this point, I would take anything, dude. This sucks right now, so I catch whatever. So
you can come up and ice fish and catch a bunch of big walleye on Lake Erie right now. They're just jamming them. My buddy just caught a 30-inch 10-pounder this weekend.
Well, if it tells you anything, I thought about going down and fishing the Bassmaster down in Kissimmee on the Kissimmee chain, because I was like, you know, I could convince my wife to go to Florida. She would have for sure go down there with me. I was like, you know, I mean, it can't be that bad, you know, catching pre-spawn largemouth, and I think it was pretty bad down there. It was tough, really tough fishing
stuff. It seemed like it was pretty bad.
Yeah. And I'm like, if he was struggling, I'm like, oh man, it's tough down there because he can catch them. So yeah.
He still would have been warm though. I mean, I'd take that warmth though.
I know, for sure. But yeah, it sucks. Well, I mean, I think we're getting up on a little over an hour here, and I feel like we didn't cover as much stuff as I wanted to cover with you guys. But I mean, if you guys are down, I would like to have you on, you know, multiple times, just kind of get your guys' take on some of the more recent stuff, you know, like, hey, we fished this tournament. You guys can give us some, you know, insight on how you caught them and that sort of thing. And I think that on this Great Lakes show, you guys are a very valuable resource for us to have on. And, you know, you guys are young and energetic, and you get doing the new age thing, which is it's interesting stuff. So I want to go see you guys in your element using the cheater box and seeing how you guys do that, because I have not done that. So
he's gonna come up here in May, and I'm gonna shut mine off, and we're gonna catch him. You know, Destin knows. You don't even need it. Nope. You don't even need it.
Okay. I want to see it though. I want to see what it's all about. I've never seen a smallmouth like chase my bait on a screen. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, it'd be pretty fun to see.
You would think it's sweet. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's addicting.
I'm sure.
Totally.
Yeah, that's why I want to see it. I use cheater box as a tongue in cheek. I don't really think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it is cool to see. I mean, Bassmaster had their first tournament without that stuff, and I know Trey did really well in that first
Yep.
one, which he got a lot of hate. Last year, like that's all. He was a one-trick pony. Obviously, he's obviously just a straight up stick, dude. It didn't matter, but it's cool to see Hank Cherry win his first one in a while. So that was neat on a freaking Mr. Twister.
Yeah,
that's
my
the old Caitlin's.
Yes,
I know. That's crazy. Yeah.
Wild.
Well, cool. Thanks for coming on, guys. And do you guys, if you wouldn't mind, give us like a shout out on your socials so people can follow you, any sponsors, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, before we do that, I promised I'd show you guys. There's the new color. Sorry, for those of you that stuck around, now you get to see it. I know it's hard to tell here, but 309. That's the green pumpkin with copper purple in the middle fleck, and then green pumpkin, blue lamb strands. So Joey Dicienzo, yeah, dude, it's a fish catcher. Trust me. We went through multiple prototypes to color it, and it's mint. Joey Dicienzo on socials, exactly how it sounds, Joey, and then my last name, which I'm sure you'll have somewhere probably in there, but if not, Dicienzo. You can find me everywhere.
Yeah, and mine's just at Joey Tee, so it's JOEYY_TEE or Joey.T on like YouTube. So pretty much on Instagram.
Thank you guys for having us on. We really appreciate this.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun, boys.
Definitely we'll get back on. We should almost we'll get Josh up here to go fishing with Simcoe. We'll do him with Erie, and then or however which way you guys are on the boxes, and then even go with Destin too, and then we'll do another recap, and then we'll hear what you have to say after of fishing with all three of us and see how that goes.
Yeah, we do. I do on the water podcast, so we'll do a raw iPhone, do audio, and it's pretty fun. Like especially if you're doing stuff and you're catching them. Doing in real time, getting people screaming, setting the hook on 6-pounders. That's I would like that a lot. So
hey, if Erie's on, you're not going to be able to hear much voices over the drag. And I'm telling you that's free. Destin, look at Destin nodding. Yep.
Oh hell yeah.
Well, it might be a late year this year, unfortunately. I'm hoping it warms up quick though.
The boom needs to break again. If the boom breaks, the ice is gone.
That's what hurts you guys, but like it piles up over there, so like we're open while there's tons of ice still up there for like a month, which I mean sucks for up there, but we're
dude,
out
it sucks. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, well, before we sign off, we always get our guests to say "Free the Fighter" to sign us off. So both of you guys, Joey Squared, let's get a "Free the Fighter" from you guys.
All right, here we go. Free the fighter, baby.
Free the fighter, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, boys. Talk to you later.
See you, boys.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.